Okay, so black women. There have been a couple of articles on the internet today in regards to black women, right? And this control that black males feel and the rest of society feels they have to have to sort of like force black women into their place, knock the chip off of our shoulder as if we're not allowed to live our lives and be happy in whatever it is we do with ourselves, for ourselves, by ourselves, right? So the article was like, black women put the wigs away and are wearing their natural hair. Personally, as a black woman, I get very offended with this argument. I really get very tired of the black women that wear their hair, period, and just have a problem with other black women and feel the need to comment stupidly the same way black males do, trying to control black women and dull them down, so to speak, to make them ugly and unattractive to other men of other races, right? Because this is what all this natural hair shit is about. Now, when you think about things factually and not emotionally, you wear natural hair every day unless you take a shaver and actually shave your hair bald. If you're wearing a wig, weave, you're wearing extensions, clip-ins, whatever, or even adding on to your braids, right? Your hair is still utilized. This great big fallacy about black women having a problem with their hair and all, it's all bullshit. This is all just another way to try to humiliate and downgrade and downplay black women, so that is one more thing that black males can use and try to perpetuate into society to make it seem as if there's another problem with black women, instead of just leaving us the fuck alone. Just leave us alone. Honestly, black women, please stop trying to control. Please stop trying to dictate and tone police and manipulate other black women into how they wear their hair, however they wear their hair. What makeup they wear, what clothes they wear, and most importantly, what they do with their bodies. I am so fucking tired of the whole twerking debate. And it all comes down to, you want to keep blaming black women, but you never want to deal with the fucking facts of the reality of things in this life. Now, when it came to the BET Awards, right, I didn't like the amount of lucidity that was shown on BET. It was basically very degrading to black women. Like, literally, there was a part in there, I forget which woman it was, but they literally like pulled her pants down. And this is a violation. This is sexual abuse as far as I'm concerned. Violation of her person. Because you don't see that happening to white women, Hispanics, or others when there are other award shows. And they are just as raunchy and just as trying to be as sexually competitive with black women as every other woman, right? However, because black women are known to have asses better than other women, they always try to make that our focus. And why is that, black women? Is that not because you're nasty, degenerate, fucking lucidivous? I really hate these dudes so much. Disgusting humanoid males have been doing this for like 20 to 30 years, talking shit about us on rap songs, devaluing us and objectifying us to sex only, never talking about our intelligence, our natural beauty, made up beauty, our ingenuity or innovation or creativity. They never want to focus on that. Never. That's never pinpointed. Everything is always an extension of sex, an extension of controlling a woman, having some type of dominance over a woman, as if through life you're living life trying to live up to their, position of what do you call that shit when they're their sexual position when they're trying to dominate you. Not missionary, is it? Yeah, missionary position in sex, where they're on top of you, holding you down, and like, this is how they want you to live in life. And if I got that term wrong, I don't give a fuck. But the point is, you get it. You have to stop these people from trying to police our behaviors and tone police us. They even fucking try to tone police us when we're quiet. Just everything about our person. They do not allow us to be human and to be free. And black women, you play a big part in that when you're out here doing this dumb shit with like, oh, it's celebration of natural hair versus wigs and this and that. Let me tell y'all something. Black women have always adorned themselves since the fucking beginning of time. When you look at all those black African women from Cleopatra's days and throughout Kemet, Egypt, and Nubia, and all of those black women that ruled the earth back then. Even the fucking Queen of Sheba, Bathsheba herself, Solomon's wife, who I am, a fucking living, breathing replica of this woman in modern day life, goes to show you exactly just how black those women were back then, right? They all added to their hair. They wore wigs even back then. They wore makeup, and it had nothing to do with not valuing what they had. They just wanted to go for the volume, the maximum beauty, or the maximum aesthetic they were looking for. But like I said, the issue is black women don't have an issue with doing what they want to do. It's everyone else always trying to have a say in who we are, what we are, and what we're doing. And you need to stop letting them do this. The only thing I can say that you need to be active in is when they're trying to always degrade us down to just something sexual, something to fuck on, like BET did with this last music award show, and how they actually were honoring Kevin Samuels for dehumanizing black women. We should have been gave BET our ass to kiss and did not, watch any of their shows and completely boycott that channel, because that channel does nothing but always try to project black women or depict us in like the worst fucking light possible. They're always trying to make us out to be like women that have no integrity, always doing something grimy behind somebody's back, or just being these weak motherfuckers that get abused, and then one day it's like, oh, all of a sudden now I got all of this strength and determination to get this fucking tyrant off of me. It's such bullshit. None of those shows speak to the reality and the fullness and totality of the character, the essence, and the integrity and the embodiment of black women. But yet, watching and reading those little articles today really was pissing me off, because I go, if black women would just really start focusing on black women and little girls and stop trying to drag along with us the image and the concern and reputation of black boys and males, because they're not men, you would be so much better off. You would eventually begin to be treated like other women in this society. People would not automatically attach you to these fucking loser black males who are out here killing people, murdering, robbing, stealing, trafficking, snatching, grabbing. They wouldn't keep associating you with them. You would finally be what you truly are in nature, your independent self. You were not born attached to these fucking dudes' hips. You were not born attached to the identity that they have in this society. You are an individual, just like every other group of people who has a male counterpart and a woman counterpart. If every other race of people are allowed to be their individual selves, you black women have to start proclaiming, I am entitled to the same fucking right. I am not tethered to this motherfucker. Not at all. And I am not a monolith, and I don't speak for nor represent the collective. And we have to really just stop engaging in all this shit that is always trying to tear us down. From the rage baiting videos where you have all of these young women nowadays who are these very homely black women wearing no makeup and looking as dull as possible, married to these really loser black dudes, always coming onto TikTok talking about how black women are always negative and there's always something wrong with them, why they can't seem to please a black male. Black women, stop giving a fuck about that. Your lot in life, or your purpose in life, believe me, if I could go get the answers from the universe, I would sacrifice my soul to do it, for you to truly finally understand. Your lot in life or purpose here is not to please a black male, is not to be his wife, bear him children, or give a fuck about any of his desires. It is not. As hard as that concept is to swallow, because you have been so indoctrinated into the bullshit of religion and gender roles in society, and that you are to suffer the same fucking unescapable fate as this fucking guy, when it's not true. When if you would just put them down and detach yourself from their negative aura, you would actually be allowed to go out in this world and build for yourself and your own kind. And it ain't that hard. But you know what is hard? Is black women actually giving a fuck about caring for other black women and only other black women. And stop trying to be so politically fucking correct in a world that doesn't give a fuck about being politically correct towards you. And I really mean that. Because like when you look at these black women's platforms, it's like they pride themselves like Bourbon Bougie to like have all these other women blowing up their fucking channel. Oh, look at me. I'm the black woman who made it. I'm the crossover. You know, I'm the good or the acceptable black. I'm not those dark black women that don't want to be friendly with other people. This is the shit they exude. Because if you ever notice, it's always a certain type, a certain look of black women that is always selling out the masses or the collective of other black women. And then there's always the black women that look very similar to me, that worship those women and cannot see for the life of them that these women are very, very detrimental to them. But you know, when I say that, because I'm older, I'm darker, and I'm fucking real, and I'm truly about black women and not pretending like all the rest of them, then you know, I'm not to be listened to. There's something that I want that they must have, right? Not really. And it just gets annoying to me over time. And like today, I saw so many videos where, as hard as I'm going, right, to like try to get black women to understand that you really got to stop listening to a lot of these stupid black women on here that are always trying to sell you the wrong shit. Like, how hard is it for you to accept that if you don't stand up and speak up and fight for your own rights, you're never going to have shit in this world all your life? You have to. Why is it so hard? And why do people have to work so hard to convince you to care only about yourself and not a black male? To care about you, your daughters, and other women who look just like you. Why is that shit so hard? And then why do we always have to go so hard out of our way to try to convince you to vote and to do things that are actually beneficial to you? Or do you want to be like the black males and be comfortable in slavery? Is that what you want? Because I can't get over that mentality of feeling like you're hopeless and helpless when you're not. When you don't even fucking try. Like, it is crazy the amount of people that have come under my video, which is why I had to turn the comments off, actually pumping Trump. And even when I put up the videos to prove to you that the things you believe about this racist Klansman is not accurate, you still want to believe the negativity and dupe yourself into losing every bit of your rights and becoming these white people's slaves again. And it's like y'all want to run into the fucking wall before you realize that the shit is there. It makes no sense. And I'm strictly talking to black women, because black males are stupid. There's nothing you can talk to them about. They understand because they want to be subjugated. Me, I will die first. No one will ever subjugate me. I will not have it. I will die fighting. They will pussy boy out the way they do everything and everywhere. And the black women that they seem to be taking down with them is insurmountable. It is just fucking incredible. Like, it's so insulting and it is so tiring to be a black woman that comes on this platform and is always caring about the benefit of black women. And yet I don't have a good following, even though I know YouTube is shadow banning me, right? Because they done already threatened to delete my channel again. But it's like, you guys don't respect the women that are actually here looking out for your best interest and fighting against all of these stupid stereotypes and dumbass talking points these black males are on here creating about us and trying to make us look like we're the problem when it is them who are definitely the fucking problem. Not just in black women's lives, but in everybody else's lives in this country. People can't even walk down the streets safely in certain places in America because of those motherfuckers. And we all know it to be true. White, black, Hispanic, Asian, other, you know it to be true. Those are not black people jumping out of the fucking bushes or coming out of the shadows at night, chasing you down the hallway when you're trying to get into your apartment. That's those motherfuckers, and y'all know it. So why y'all keep letting these fucking bum-ass, criminal-minded, amount to nothing characters always try to spearhead y'all in the way of which you should go? And then when you got black women out here like me and others killing ourselves to get you to finally wake up and turn the page onto where you should be, you fight us the most. And then when we finally get tired and say, fuck this shit, and walk away from it for good, and you have absolutely no one speaking up for you anymore, it goes back to them and what they were doing 20 years ago, tearing us down and running our names into the ground, and convincing and indoctrinating the whole world that we're worthless human beings. And they treat us in kind. This is why we have so many problems at work with whites and others, because they listen and soak in and absorb all this negative shit these black dudes are talking about, because y'all go along with it. From arguing and talking about shit that's not true and trying to police and tone control and simply manipulate other black women as if they don't have the choice to do what they want or have a feeling about what they involve themselves in. And we see it everywhere. It's not just a thing about, oh, black women are finally wearing their natural hair. We wear our natural hair every day, regardless of what we do to it. Unless we shave it off of our fucking heads, it is still on our heads every motherfucking day. It's just so annoying. I mean, when I sit here and I think about all the bullshit from the Cheesecake Factory lady, whether it was a hoax or not, we have a choice to say what place we like and don't like, where we want and do not want to go. And yes, as somebody trying to date or be around us to eventually try to crawl up into us, if you don't like what we're talking about, you're free to fucking go. You're free to leave and try somebody else. I'm telling y'all, young black women, you're gonna have a real hard life if you do not stop trying to associate yourself or put yourself side by side with these dudes and learn to stand on your own 2 fucking feet. Stand on your own feet and just live your own life. Stop trying to be their fucking sidekick or hype man. Black women are beautiful whether they wear their hair in any natural style, shape, condition, whatever. And there is no such thing as a natural hair for us. Our hair changes when it's wet. It changes when it's dry. It changes when we sweat it. It changes when we groom it. What are you talking about? I know my hair is naturally curly. When I pull it, it can go straight. Many black women are like me. Some of us have really, really thick curly hair, and some of us have thin curly hair. And some of us have different textures of hair all over our fucking heads. I'm one of those people too. Like, some parts are way straighter, curlier, or thicker than others, and it's just like that. And it has been that way from birth. So it's like, can we please throw away all of the labels, the indoctrination, the training, and the pet treatment or pet obedience that we keep giving these dudes, black males, that is spilling out to society, where other people are expecting us to comply with their ignorance based off of the original shit these black dudes are putting out here. There should be no articles about black women's hair. None. Unless it is an extension of the Crown Act, where we are allowed to do whatever the fuck we want to do with our hair, just like every other woman that wears wigs, weaves, and trying to put our braids in their hair and etc. Don't you ever get tired of this shit? Don't you ever get tired of being the person everybody picks on? If you are, then what you do is stand up for yourself. And you shoot down and push back against the black male that's putting all these negative images and stereotypes and opinions out there about you. Because believe me, it's because of them that you even have women on TikTok and YouTube making these fucking dumbass videos. Now, if women are making videos about products that work best with different textures of hair or different levels of curliness, that's one fucking thing. But when you're over here trying to make it a shaming thing, a guilting thing about black women that wear clip-ins, extensions, who braid into their hair for thickness or length, wear wigs, wear pieces, whatever, that's going too far. Because you, as a human being, an individual, you don't have no right to tell somebody else what the fuck to do with themselves or how they should be. Who are you? You are to mind your business and be what you are. The authority on yourself and yourself alone, and no one else. And I just get so tired of this shit. I really do. And if I honestly, right now I'm going to speak the wholehearted truth from my soul. If I was not affected by the things that affect other black women because I am a black woman, I would completely be like, fuck all of you. All of you who are doing that, who are always trying to make black women downtrodden, always feel like we gotta comply to some dumb shit that some black male says about us and what he feels and how we're supposed to be subjugated and be his type of personal slave with this subjugation shit or submission shit. I just get so tired of it. If I would not be affected by this Klansman trying to become president and taking away my right to be free, I would not even waste my time with another video, because I know that what I'm saying as a very positive, very engaged and concerned with black women and girls on a whole type of creator, my passion for black women and girls is not given any respect. It's not given any fucking never mind. You have black guys on here talking shit about black women all day, talking about how we're the worst of the worst. We smell. We're like the most deplorable thing, almost equivalent to the shit underneath somebody's shoe. And that person will have more black women following them and supporting them than a black woman who is really out here thinking about a black woman's best interest. And I mean that symbolically. I don't mean that factually and symbolically, but I don't mean it in a sense where, oh, I want you to come now and support me. No. But I'm just explaining like how this shit is very tiring and it's very annoying. And it's just so sad that as a people who derive from slavery, black women are the ones that want to comply and worry about all these other fucking people's opinions of us, and especially these loser ass black males. And you go out of your way to try to beat down other black women to comply with this bullshit. You are like the worst fucking slaves known to man. because you can't just let the rest of us be free. You want to try to drag us into I don't even have nothing else to say. I'm just getting like so tired of black women in general, because you can't gain no ground when you're trying to do things positive, or you want to try to address things that truly affect us, that is hurting us, like black femicide, domestic violence, little black girl human trafficking. Black women don't want to hear about that. That's the shit we should be talking about. They want to, be on other people's platforms, like this woman, Bourbon Bougie, where she prides herself on having white women and all these other people flock to her channel because, she's the token black that has crossed over, right? Her and a lot of the other ones. It's not just her, but I use her as an example because it always sticks into my mind how she don't give a fuck about black women. And when she was actually on that West 4B live that day, and she actually was talking about how depressed she was and upset she was that she had lost her check, and she wasn't concerned about the impact she was having on black women's lives and how she could help black women. She was more concerned about money. It just made me develop a certain level of, I just can't stand this bitch because of that, for her, because she truly showed you who she was, and you guys don't believe her. You still keep believing that she's somebody. Same thing with Princella. Like all these people and all the rest of them, you just don't want to believe them when they show you who the fuck they are. It's sad and very fucking tiring for the rest of us. I'm out here killing myself trying to get a rally for black femicide in New York, and none of you will fucking show up. It's tiring.